Hello, welcome back to learn how to paint in acrylics. Today's lesson is going to be something very special. It's going to be a memorial type heirloom. My brother had passed away November 17th, 2017. What I'm going to do is mix his ashes into the paint and do his portrait. Well, here's the drawing of my little brother, and here's the picture of him. We're going to use his ashes. These are his ashes. We're only going to take a couple of tablespoons from the ashes, and these are the supplies we're going to need. Because it takes a long time to do a painting, the lesson was put in fast motion and narrated. Well, we have the drawing on the canvas, burnt sienna, and a lot of water to create a wash. Take a cotton sock, wipe the paint just so that you can see the pencil showing through. Now we'll start out with the eyes first. We'll add the pupil, and then we'll outline the eye. We'll take some burnt sienna and we'll place in around the pupil as our iris. Now we'll take a mixture of white, touch of black, and burnt sienna, and we'll create the white portions of the eye. And we'll just place a dot between the iris and the pupil and the upper part of the eye. And then we'll blend it all in. Now we'll get some white and we'll put on the right side of the eye. We'll brighten that up some. And now we'll take some burnt sienna and white, and we will outline the eye. And we'll fill it in around the eye. To make it look round. Okay, now on the left part of the eye is a shadowed part of it. That's why the eye is a little bit darker. And now we're going to take burnt sienna white and just a little bit of black, not much. And then we're going to blend all that in. We're going to take our number 2 brush and burnt sienna, and we're going to fill in around the eyes and fill in throughout the face. We'll work on the shadows first. And we'll do some blending as we go. A little more white. Now we'll add some more burnt sienna. And we'll add a little more white to the burnt sienna for his cheek on the left side. Now we're taking burnt sienna and white, and we're going to fill in around the eye on the right hand side. We'll add some highlights underneath his eye. A little bit more white and a touch of burnt sienna. Make it a little bit brighter for underneath the eye and for the white part of the eye. Now we're going to take some burnt sienna and black, and we're going to fill in his nostrils. Now that we got the nostrils filled in, we will add some reflected light onto his right nostril. And then we'll work our way to the left. And we'll add some eyebrows. Get some black and burnt sienna and put in his hair. We don't want it pure black. The burnt sienna makes the black just a little bit warmer. Now we'll work on his lips. Add some brown and white first. And we'll paint him in like lips, but it'll be burnt sienna and white. Now we'll take our number 2 brush, black, burnt sienna, and white, and we'll just work on the left side, giving his chin a little more shadow. Put in the shadows in his ears. Now we'll get our number 0 brush, and we'll work on the detail of the ear. Put in our white, put on our burnt sienna shadows. We'll start working on the right side with a combination of yellow, white, and burnt sienna, creating more of a flesh tone. And we'll work on the right side of his face. And as we're doing this, we're blending at the same time. Now we're going to work on his chin. Going to be just painting around, looking at the photograph and seeing where everything is. Focusing on our light and dark areas. Add a little more white with a touch of yellow and burnt sienna, and we're going to add that more to the right side of the face and brighten it up. And go down to his neck, upside his face, and then we'll take a red and we will put over the top of that. We're going to darken his lips on the corners a little bit more, bring them out, and we're going to put in where the brightest light is reflecting. So we're going to add some light, kind of outline his lips a little bit. Make that reflected light, and we'll go around his eyes. And then we'll just touch up a little bit here and there. Now we'll take some black and we'll freshen up the eyes, and we'll detail the eyes a little bit more. We'll kind of paint over the reflected dot we put in. We're going to brighten up his eyes. Add some brown and white over on the left side of the face, and we're going to warm it up. We'll add a little shadow there next to his nose on the left side, next to his eye. And we're going to blend all that in. Now we're warming it up as we go. As you can see, the gray parts were just an undercoat for the shadow. Now that we can warm up that undercoat, it's still a shadow, but it blends in and makes the skin soft. When we get our zero brush, we'll do some more detail on the ear. We'll make that reflected light on the lips, kind of a little bit of light. Now we'll go to the nose and we'll add some highlights to that too. We'll go down to his neck and we'll blend in and soften all the shadows there on his chin. Okay, we'll add some highlights next to his nose and around the face. We'll soften everything up as we go. Here we go. We've already used a tablespoon of his ashes and we filled in the background. First of all, you add your black on your palette, just quite a bit of it. And then you take the tablespoon of ashes and you put over the top of the paint. You lightly mix it in with your number 10 brush, and then you slowly make circles, press down on your brush, and let it absorb into the ashes, and go really slow around and round. Now we're back into fast motion. Now we'll just go ahead and fill in his shirt. We'll add a little bit more in the background. Okay, now we'll get our number 2 brush. We'll fill in the blank spots around his head. And we'll use some of the paint in the background to add to our brush as we fill in around his face. There's just kind of a hint of his ear on the other side. Barely even see it. It's almost flush to his face on the left. Fill in more around his hair and that little bit there. On his hair on the right, that filled in, and ta-da! Now we get our zero brush, and we will add some reflected light alongside of his face. We will add some reflected light towards the edge of his hair, going around from the left up to the top. The blue and white on the left side of his hair for reflection of light, and on the right hand side we'll just fill in his hair with a little burnt sienna and white, and because the light is hitting on it, we'll just kind of fill that in, let his hair kind of fluff out. A little bit brighter there on the left. Okay, we'll take the blue and white and we'll outline the left side of his face. Light way over to the left is coming in behind him and reflecting on his face. Well, now we'll take a touch of yellow, white, and a little bit of burnt sienna, and we will place it on our zero brush. Then we will fill in some more highlights. We'll also add a little bit of a touch of black with that. We use that as reflected light around his sweatshirt. Now we'll take some black and we'll fill in the left shoulder. Come up around to the right side and fill in with some black. And we'll blend as we go. And I'll just kind of work on his collar a little bit more. There we go. And we'll fill it in some more. We'll just take that black with our number 10 brush and we'll fill in around his chest and around his shoulders. Just blend it all in. Well, we've got our 10 brush. Add a little bit of white to our black, and then we're going to add some highlights and make his shirt and his shoulder look round from the right side. And then we'll work on the left side, lighten that up a little bit, separate it from the background. And we'll do a little more detail. Okay, we'll work a little bit on his eyes from the left side to the right side, and make sure some of the measurements are good. Touch here and there, just making sure everything is perfect. Little shadow under his chin. Okay, now we're going to sign our painting. You can sign it on either end, either the left or the right, it doesn't matter. But what I'm choosing is the left-hand side. Okay, once your painting's signed, we'll paint the edges of the painting black so you can hang it up on the wall without a frame. In memory of Dennis Pickett, his nickname is Punky. This is a family heirloom created with love